Hi everyone, this is Sanctuary for Tuesday, April the 28th, I think. Days are starting to run together, but I hope that wherever you are, whatever day you may think it is, that you are finding a moment to care for yourself, to breathe, to find renewal, to find rest for your spirit and soul. So I'm glad to be with you today here from my office. So welcome to my office space, and I'm glad that you are taking time for Sanctuary today. We today are going to be talking a little bit about a practice called the Ignatian Examen. This is a practice for reflection to help focus and think about the days that we are traveling through. I've been finding lately that I'm taking in so much information, that I'm watching videos, I'm doing Zoom meetings, I'm doing conference calls, and so I'm spending a lot of time taking in information so that my mind feels really cluttered at the end of the day, and then I'm just exhausted. But what I think helps sometimes is having a process of reflection, a time to sit down at the end of the day and to kind of think about what it all means and to process what I'm carrying and what I'm feeling. So I hope that this will be a helpful practice to you. So as you're joining us, I invite you to think about how you're reflecting on your days. Are you taking time to process, whether it's through journaling, maybe bullet journaling? I see Mary is here. Welcome, Mary. I know that you do a lot of bullet journaling, and so I wonder how you may be reflecting, how others are reflecting during this time. I know prayer is a practice that can be a really reflective one. I think about, sometimes it's hard to really get a grasp on what prayer is and what it means. So I wonder, those of you that have joined us, if prayer is a practice that is meaningful to you, what is prayer for you? What does that offer you, and how does it help connect you and help you navigate the journey that you're in? So what is prayer? Why do we pray? Why is it important? And so I'll give you all a minute to think about it. If you want to write in the comments, I'd like to hear your thoughts on what prayer means to you and how you engage in prayer. As I find my water somewhere behind me. Excuse me as I move around. A lot of times prayer for me is a way of helping me to first be aware of what I'm feeling, whether it's what I'm carrying and feeling for someone else, or if it's concerns that I have, that it's a way of being aware of that and also lifting that up, so it's not something that I'm just carrying by myself, but I'm entrusting it to God, that I'm having faith that this is not something that I have to navigate by myself. And I realize for me, one of the benefits of prayer is so often it changes how I feel. It can help me to care more deeply about others as I'm praying for them. It can help me to feel lighter when I've shared that concern that has been worrying me. And so I think in the same way, this process of reflection, this examine process that we're going to talk about, can be a way of helping us to be aware of how we're feeling, what we're actually carrying. It can open up an awareness of gratitude for the things in our lives that we may not take the time to notice. And it can also point out opportunities for growth. So when I talk about the Ignatian Examen, this is a spiritual practice that is very old. It's been practiced by the Jesuits. It's something that still continues in a lot of Christian circles. But it's something that can be done by anyone regardless of your religious, faith, spiritual background. Basically, it's taking time at the beginning or the end of the day to reflect through some thoughtful questions to gain an awareness of where God or the divine or holy or grace has been in your life. And it helps us to focus on where we might want to draw our intentions for the day coming up. So I invite you into this process with me if you want to explore what the Ignatian Examen might be like and if it might be something that's beneficial to you. So I invite you to settle in where you are. Hopefully you're in a comfortable chair, but wherever you might be, that you might take a moment to settle into the space that you're in, that you might breathe deeply and get comfortable and feel your breath settling in, settling you into wherever you might be. And you are invited to close your eyes if you're comfortable with that, but you don't have to. This is a process that is for you to find your own comfort level and to just have this space of reflecting on your day. So the first step is to acknowledge how you're feeling in this moment right now. And you can be real and authentic in this space. You can be yourself. And I think for me, that's the same way with prayer, that it's a space where I can share how I feel. And it doesn't always have to be pretty and nice and hopeful. It can be real. And that's not always positive. So how are you feeling in this moment? You can put it in the comments if you want, or this can be something that's private for you. How are you really feeling right now? The second part is to seek and ask for light or insight as you prepare to review this practice that's connected to God. Then you might seek out that from God. Or you may look deeply into yourself and see, seeking for yourself to know what is the truth that you want to be revealed as you go through this. And next, pause a minute to think about what you're grateful for today. What connections to people or things have made you feel grounded to your true self? For who or what are you grateful today? And we'll pause for a minute so you could settle into that gratitude and sit with it for a moment to feel that gratitude. I'll share one gratitude as you were reflecting. Right before this video, was looking out my window and saw 5 baby foxes that are right outside the chapel. I had heard that there were foxes that had been born and had been living in the barn and had not seen them, and I happened to look outside and they were walking around right outside the meditation chapel. So that's pretty cool. I think that's my first time seeing a fox in real life, and they were babies. They're adorable. So where are you finding gratitude today? Next, kind of focusing on how you are experiencing this time, which I know is different from day to day. But how are you finding connections in new ways, even through isolation and social distancing? Is this experience making you more aware, helping you to see situations and people in new ways? And if so, how? How is this experience causing you to be more creative, more empathetic? The next question is, how have you experienced God or the divine or the holy, or however you would name that greater thing outside yourself? How have you experienced that today? And if not, if you haven't experienced, what is making it difficult to see or feel holiness during this time? And I invite you to pause for a minute and to sit with that, to sit with the feelings without judgment, to pay attention to what comes up for you and what this might be saying to you. And as you're reflecting on that, I invite you to pick a moment from today that stands out, that seems significant to you for whatever reason, or maybe you don't understand the significance. Maybe it's something that pops into your mind. But pause and reflect for a moment on what this might be speaking to you, how you might be invited to engage with this memory, this thought, this situation. Where are the opportunities for growth? And perhaps this is an opportunity to pray about it if you do pray. I find sometimes that it's the small moments that have the most significance. That it's the things that I would miss if I didn't take the time to reflect. And so I think that is a gift in this practice. And so when you're doing this practice on your own, you could take as much time as you need to take to reflect, to seek out the meaning of whatever has arisen for you, to pray about it, to meditate on it, to write about it. And then the closing step is to think about what this moment leads you to want to do tomorrow. What intention would you like to set for the next day based on what you have gathered from today, what you have learned from, what you have been challenged by, what has made you uncomfortable, what you realize is unfinished? Perhaps where God is leading you right now. Based on where you are today, what step do you want to take tomorrow? What intention do you want to set? And we close this practice again with a deep breath, with settling in, with a moment of quiet, and perhaps prayer. A prayer of gratitude, a prayer of openness, of setting the intention that we want to make. And when you are ready, you can return to this space. And I'm grateful for this time that we have shared together, for this practice. And I will add the links from what I shared today on the Ignatian Examen to the comments below. But I hope that you will also share what has come up for you. What is something that has been meaningful to you that you will take forward into the evening ahead and the day ahead, the next day tomorrow. So I wish for you peace and wellness, and I hope that you take care of yourself and that you will be gentle and gracious to yourself in this time, and to know that you are cared for, and to know that in this time it's not about all that we can get done, because this is a different time that we're dealing with, but it's an invitation, I think, to seek out what is meaningful and what we are able to do and what we need to let go of. So I hope that and pray that in the days ahead and in the week ahead that you will find opportunities to reflect, to find gratitude, to find what you can learn through during this time, to find those moments of holiness in this strange time. So be well, my friends, and take care. I look forward to seeing you here next week.